What's going on, guys? CTG Matt back. Today was the last day of regular season NBA basketball, which makes me very sad, but it also reminds me that the playoffs are officially here, folks. Playoffs are here, and you know what I do around here. I like to predict things. I've already done the play-in, as you can tell. Unfortunately, I don't think I could create a play-in bracket on the Bracket Fights website. So what I did was I just put in the winners I kind of want to see and or the ones that I think will win. Out west, I think it's pretty clear. I don't think Sacramento or Dallas is going to be the upset type, in my opinion. I think you're going to have the Warriors beat the Grizzlies in the first game, and then the Grizzlies beat the winner of the 9-10. I still think it's going to be 7-8, sticking exactly how it is out west. Out east got a little bit funky. I think Orlando can beat the Hawks in their first game. It's a home game. Magic are really hard to beat at home. They have a really good defense, so that definitely helps out the cause. And then I had the Bulls out here. I got a little bit hectic. Now, can I just be frank when I say this? Hawks fans or somebody, the Heat fans may take offense to this, but it really doesn't matter because between the Hawks, the Bulls, the Magic, and the Heat, you're really just deciding to see who wants to get their asses kicked by the Cavaliers or the Celtics. I don't think either one of you is pulling an upset. That's a spoiler, but I feel like I can tell you that because I think you know. If you enjoy this video, like, subscribe. We just hit 52 subs, bro. We are coming up fast, and you want to be a part of the come up, or else you'll just be left at the bottom. I don't know. Something like that. Either way, we're going to get this thing rolling. Like I said, just like and sub me up. You know how that goes. And tell me why my play-in predictions are wrong down below. We could start out with the 1-8s because that's where you always start. Cleveland, this is for you. You're moving on to the second round. It's not really even a hard choice. The Cavs and the Celtics, I'm just going to move them on, are head and shoulders the best teams in the East, and I think you guys know where I'm heading with that, and I think you know where just about everyone would predict it would go. The only real X factor here is Jaylen Brown's knee, because that's bad. He has an impingement and a bone bruise. No bueno there, but he's got some time to heal. He doesn't even particularly have to play game one against Orlando if they don't, you know what I mean? If he's not deemed okay to play, he shouldn't feel forced to rush it. But yeah, with the 1-8s and the 2-7s, I guess we can get them out of the way early. As much as I like the Grizzlies and I love the Grizzlies and Tomas I don't know how to pronounce his last name still to this day. Either way, I still think the Grizzlies are a fun team, but they are not the Thunder. Sorry to break it to you. Now, this is where things get spicy down at the bottom between the Warriors and the Rockets because, let me be honest with you, as much as I like this Houston Rockets team, I had Ime Udoka as my Coach of the Year pick. If you guys didn't watch that video, you definitely should, in my opinion. It's not really an opinion, that's a fact. You should watch my NBA awards video, but I had Ime Udoka as my Coach of the Year. That's a spoiler alert. So I just love what the Rockets are doing, and I love the defenders they have for Steph Curry. I really like this because, like, last week, we literally saw Curry get clamped up by a men in them, you know? So for 7 games, it would be a fun series, don't get me wrong. However, that game was still competitive despite Steph doing nothing. So this is going to feel bad, and I don't like it, but I got the Warriors going to the second round. I love the Rockets. I love what they've done. I just, down the stretch of a game, I trust the Warriors shot makers over the Rockets shot makers. Plus, no offense, Houston Rockets fans. Again, I love what the Rockets have done, but y'all got to understand, you aren't just going up against Golden State. You are going up against the NBA's moneymaker. All right, no offense, and I'm not saying the NBA's rigged. I'm not one of those annoying people. I'm not one of them. But what I am saying is the playoffs get 10 times harder when you're facing a team like the Golden State Warriors because you know what they have on their side, and I'm not going to alliterate any further. Houston's had an incredible season, but I just think in a playoff series, down the stretch of a game, I trust Curry, I trust Butler more than I trust Jalen Green and LP or Freddie. Either one, I definitely just trust Curry and Jimmy more than I trust Jalen Green and Fred VanVleet as perimeter shot makers. You know what I mean? Man, I just think that the Rockets are so well built defensively. They can stop Curry, but I don't know. I just really think the Warriors have more late game offense than a Rockets team does. Plus star power. Playoffs really come down to a lot of star power. The well-built teams with no true stars don't tend to thrive very often. You know what I mean? When it's a team effort, it's great and all, but once those rotations get cut down, you still need to be able to have stars at the top that get the job done. And the Warriors have better stars than the Rockets is kind of how I'm going to simplify that. You can get to the 4-5s and 3-6s. Indiana versus Milwaukee would be this is a fun series. automatically just going to be a fun series. You're going to have Giannis versus a team that he dropped, his career high on or whatever. And then Dame might be back. I don't know. I'm waiting for Chris Haynes to break that to me before I believe anything, because Chris Haynes is Damian Lillard's personal ball holder. That's what he is, man. I'm sorry. That might not be his job title. It's definitely what he does on his free time, though. Yeah, I got to wait for Chris Haynes to tell me anything Damian Lillard related, because he's the Dame whisperer. So I'm waiting on that. He said there's a potential Damian Lillard comeback in the playoffs. Even if it happens, I still got Indiana. I still think that they can just outrun this Milwaukee team that's a little bit older. Like a Brook Lopez, he's good. He's had good games against the Pacers, don't get me wrong, but I don't really trust Kyle Kuzma, second option. No, it's not a lot of work going on over there. I mean, KPJ is really good, but I don't know. I think I just trust Tyrese Halliburton and the creators of Indiana more than I trust anyone else on Milwaukee that's not named Giannis Antetokounmpo. I trust Andrew Nembhard with the ball more than I trust Kevin Porter Jr. with the ball in the playoff series, and I don't know if anyone's going to agree with me with that comment down below. But if you do, let me know. But yeah, I don't know. I just think the Pacers were there last year. They still have really good players. They have a guy like Miles Turner who's going to get in foul trouble because of Giannis, but he could space out the floor against the Brook Lopez. It's not a shock, but I don't think Dame's going to play, all things considered, or at least if he does, it won't be game one. I don't think he'll be game one ready. And that basically cooks the turkey before anything even starts. You know what I mean? If Dame's not there, series is over before it even starts. Sorry, I really like the Bucks. I don't trust Glenn Rivers. There's a lot going on in Milwaukee without Damian Lillard. It sucks that this is how it's going to go. But even with Dame, we were very underwhelmed with Milwaukee anyways. So, I don't know. This is kind of like putting down the limping horse. Knicks versus Pistons. Going to be a hood classic. You have two very aggressive fan bases, two very aggressive teams. Isaiah Stewart in a playoff series, seeing the same team for 7 games is going to do something outrageous. Overall, again, I think I'm arguing this in the same breath I was arguing about the Warriors, that I think the Knicks are just going to move on because they're going to get a better whistle. I know it's really not right, but that's just kind of how the game works. Jalen Brunson might average 18 a game in terms of free throws. Cat, he gets his fair share. But with the Pistons, they have the one guy, they have the head of the snake, the head of the table. That's Cade Cunningham. And just like the head of the snake, if you know what I mean, you need something to chop the head off. That's an OG Anunoby to shut the water off, So I just think the Knicks got more depth than the Pistons do. Not depth. I just think they have more people to turn to than the Pistons do. Like if Brunson don't have it working, they can just turn to Cat. If Cade don't have it working, the Pistons got to run Dennis Schroeder and Malik Beasley. You know what I mean? And on top of that, I just think that the Knicks have the push behind them. And again, I know it's wrong to say, but literally watch, what was it, Evan Turner, who said you're playing Boston, you're going to have to win by 18 to win by 2 or whatever. That's how it goes, man. So the big market stays. On to the next round, over to the West. All right, out West, we have the Nuggets and the Clippers. I really like what the Nuggets have done post Mike Malone. It's been very fun. Sorry, Michael Malone. He doesn't like being called Mike, guys. Come on. But I really haven't seen a ton of what the Nuggets have done post Michael Malone to make me really believe it. You know what I mean? And there really hasn't been enough time for me to even adjust to their new coach or anything like that. But they've looked fun. They've looked loose, like there's no expectations. And that's kind of the most dangerous thing about this team, is that no one cares. There is no playoff expectation for the Nuggets anymore. They fired their damn coach a day before the playoffs, it felt like. I know it wasn't. But by firing Michael Malone, it kind of just felt like all the weight was off their shoulders, to me at least, Like everything's just reset now, and it's like, oh, well, I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll see, And I think the Clippers just have more to throw at the non-Jokic players, all right? If it's a Zubac is incredible. I'm going to keep pounding the damn table for Zubac because he is great at what he does, man. Double-double every day the last, 2 weeks. When the Clippers need to make a playoff spot, it was Zoo, it was Kawhi, it was Harden, and they were riding through teams. They had an impressive win today against Golden State as I record. At Golden State, no less, I believe, too. I'm so high on this Clippers team, but the only doubt is, can I say this? We are assuming health around here. All right, we are assuming health. Jaylen Brown's knee out east for the Celtics. Kawhi Leonard every year for the Clippers. Jamal Murray's hamstring, knee, whatever, for the Nuggets. LeBron's ankle, I think it is, his issues, his injuries that he's going in with, Draymond Green left the game and came back today. So I'm assuming health for everyone because nobody's been listed as out. You know what I mean? So barring it's a 7-game series where Kawhi Leonard stays, I'm picking the Los Angeles Clippers. Simple enough. Lakers Timberwolves is one I've been batting back and forth for way too long. I'm going to have to go with the Lakers. I love Anthony Edwards, and I love Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert is one of my underrated favorite players in basketball for absolutely no reason. Has a horrible playoff track record, gets played off the court by 5-out offenses, but at the end of the day, I don't know, I still like him. Why am I taking the Lakers over the Timberwolves then, Matt? It's because of the ebbs and flows of this Timberwolves team, bro. 2 weeks ago, if you asked me about the Timberwolves, I'd be like, yo, they're steamrolling, heading into the playoffs strong. And now you ask me today, and I'm like, they blew a really big lead the other day. They're up and down. They win 3 straight. They lose 4 in a row. They win 7 straight. They lose 5 in a row. I don't know what to do with this team. And up and down play doesn't make me more optimistic going into the playoffs for them. Honest to God, with Minnesota, it feels like they're like a Mike Conley bad shooting series away from getting damn near swept. Anthony Edwards is going to keep you in games because he's Anthony Edwards. He just dropped like 40 against Memphis the other day, right? But Julius Randle, playoff track record, not very high. We know that. Mike Conley is a great player, but he has ups and downs. He's 40. He's old, bro, right? I love Nas, man. I can't throw enough praise Minnesota's way, but they've been so damn up and down and inconsistent and in and out this season to the point where I can't believe in them. As you can see, our second round is set. We have Cleveland versus Indiana, which was in a video I made a few weeks ago where I did some potential playoff matchups that could happen, and I said a potential second-round matchup between the Pacers and the Cavs is imminent. It still feels it. But this is a one that would really be fun to me because the Cavs love their 2 bigs, their Allen and Mobley combo, in the front court. Meanwhile, the Pacers are like, yeah, we got Miles Turner. He's there to rebound. We catch that ball and run in the break. And I'm curious how a Jared Allen, Evan Mobley front court's going to work out when the Pacers are just trying to turn it into a track meet. Plus, Tyrese is really good. If he's making his shots, he's one of the best point guards in basketball going up against maybe the second best team in well, they are the second best record-wise team in basketball. How high you hold them is completely up to you, but record-wise, they're the second best team in basketball, and they've been so dominant this season. They've lost 4 games in a row only once. That doesn't happen very often. That's historically dominant. Cleveland is just deep, but so is Indiana. Indiana's got some depth too. Obi Toppin off the bench. TJ McConnell always off the bench. What's his name? Jarris Walker off the bench. I always get Jarris Walker and Jabari Walker confused. It's Jarris playing in Indiana. Sorry if you notice this little bar down at the bottom, by the way. That's like right behind my screen. Nothing I can do about it. Can't click off it or anything. But in the wise words of Tony Soprano, that's tough, but you got to get over it. That's not exactly what he said, but that's essentially what he said. But anyways, in the the Cavs Pacers series, I think bold prediction, I'd have to take the 1 seed. Really big risk taker I am, right? The Cavs have just been so damn dominant, and they have more of the star power and the star play than Indiana does. I love Tyrese Halliburton, but I like Donovan Mitchell. He's a playoff riser, historically great playoff riser. Darius Garland, whatever he gives you, And then Evan Mobley. Who the hell is guarding Evan Mobley? That P skills. Shit. Man, that's actually a good defender for an Evan Mobley type. It's tough. That's a tough playoff series. And if you think Indiana would pull out of that, I really don't blame you for thinking that because the playoffs are crazy. Anything can happen. Did anyone think Indiana would be in the conference finals last year? No. Did anyone think Atlanta would be in the conference finals in 2022, 2021? No. It was 2021 because there was no fans. But either way, I'm taking the Cavs. They've been so good. They've swept the floor with a lot of their competition. I think they have dropped one game to Indiana this year, so that definitely makes it interesting. But overall, I think the Cavs have somebody to guard Pascal, and they have somebody who can guard not a Donovan Mitchell type. I don't think they have that. Maybe. But yeah, the Cavs are just so dominant. I think I just have to go with them. I think they're gonna shoot them out of the gym, and that sounds wild. You know what I mean. Celtics versus Knicks. This isn't really a question. It's the Celtics. What made me question the Cavs versus the Pacers and not the Celtics versus the Knicks? Because sit right here and tell me right now the Knicks aren't frauds. What proof is there that they're a real contender? What wins do they have against top 3 seeds? Tell me. They've struggled big time against great teams. They haven't been able to get over the hump. I thought they were going to beat the Celtics the other day. I was like, oh man, the Knicks' first win against a big team. And then they blew it. And it really puts a big cloud over my head. Like, yeah, they don't have it. They don't have it. And especially if Jaylen Brown's healthy. You know, last game, Jaylen Brown didn't even play the fourth quarter, for Christ's sake. There's a fly in here. Jaylen Brown didn't even play the fourth quarter, and they still ended up beating the Knicks. Like, that's not a good look. Mikal Bridges, their second best defender, was just getting put in a casket by Jason Tatum consistently all game. It's not a good look. You know, so going into the playoffs, I don't have much optimism for the Knicks. If they could make this series 6, it'd be interesting. But, yeah, I don't think they're winning it. For Cavs-Pacers, I forgot to say the number of games. It could definitely go 7. This could mess around. I think this will be like Cavs in 6. You know, a convincing 6 where when they win big. If they lose, it's a, close game. You know what I mean? Out west, we have a actual Stalin versus Hler type matchup here with the Lakers versus the Warriors. This is 2 disgustingly toxic franchises and fan bases squaring off. You have LeBron versus the Warriors, which would be huge. The NBA would be like peak viewership if this happened in the second round. I can't lie. I don't care about viewership, though. I care about the quality of the games. So what are we coming down to here for my deciding factors? I think I'm going to take the Lakers, and I don't like putting the Lakers in the conference finals. I don't like seeing that. My alternative was the Warriors, so it's really either shoot myself in the foot or shoot myself in the thigh. Really don't want either one, but I guess I'll take the foot shot. What differentiates those two teams? It's honestly not a lot. I just think that, well, Luka's the best player on the court in that series. I like some of the creators that the Lakers have, like Austin Reeves or even a Gabe Vincent off the bench, who's mostly there for catch and shoot, but like he can hit a floater in the lane here and there. And then it's not like the Warriors have a big body that they could put down low against Jackson Hayes and make him work. That doesn't exist in Golden State. Do I think that the Warriors could win this? Absolutely, dude. This is a series that could go 7 games very simply and easily, honestly. I just think Luka's the biggest differentiator for me. You know what I mean? And I think that's all that needs to be said, but I can illustrate more. Luka Doncic is another playoff riser, where if he's defending and being the same offensive player that he has been the entirety of the season, it makes it very difficult to pick against him. Because when he was defending in the playoffs last year against the Timberwolves, or who was it, the Clippers first round, I think, or something like that, when he was defending and looked locked in defensively, there wasn't anything that those teams could do. And when he's locked in defensively, there's nothing you can really do. So I think LeBron wants to beat the Warriors. He is so charged up to beat the Warriors if this were to come true. So you know what I mean? I just think the Lakers got more firepower. Even offensively, like one of the Warriors' best offensive pieces is Jonathan Kuminga, and he doesn't even get PT anymore because he's been so bad recently, which is crazy to say because he was a top whatever pick. But yeah, like the Warriors' depth is kind of a mixed bag. Buddy Hield is not good. Buddy Hield could hit 8 threes in a game, and I would still come on here and say Buddy Hield is just not good. Quentin Post at the 5 trying to, guard the switch with Bron and Luka sounds like scary thoughts. And honestly, it's just 2 high IQ guys with Luka and LeBron, and I think high IQ goes very far in the playoffs. This is just maybe the most smart playoff series in the playoffs right now if the Lakers versus Warriors happens, because you would have to deal with Draymond, LeBron, Luka, Jimmy, Steph. 5 of the smartest guys in basketball, and they'd just be an incredible series. Yeah, I'm going to have to take the Lakers, though. And then the last matchup over here this would be ideal for what I'd want as a selfish NBA fan, because you think about OKC, you think about Shea, and he's the feature guy. He's the big head of he's the head of the table, you know what I mean? He's Roman Reigns over there, so he's the best scorer in the NBA. And then on the Clippers side, you have Chris Dunn, Derrick Jones Jr. Those guys are all defensive type of guys. Kawhi Leonard, when he's healthy and he's able to, he will defend. He had, who was he guarding today that I was like, he is insane. He had a nice jump pass from Draymond. Draymond tried to skip it to the corner, and I'm pretty sure he just snagged it one-handed. Yeah, Kawhi's clampy when he locks in. I think we forget about that. I definitely forget about that. Like, I remember him having good offensive games, obviously, but, like, the defense, when he can defend and when he can play high minutes load and when he can manage that high workload, oh my God, dude. He is one of the best players in the NBA. The Clippers have many, many, many bodies that they could throw at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Meanwhile, the Thunder have many, many bodies that they could throw at James Harden. James Harden's not going to have a good series. Outright, I'll tell you that. I'm damn near I'll write it down in permanent ink that I doubt James Harden has a good playoff series. Lu Dort, Alex Caruso, he's going to see J-Dub maybe, like Shea, who's even respectable. James Harden will not have a good playoff series if this were to come to fruition. It'd be really down to Kawhi Leonard. And as much as I love Kawhi Leonard, call me a hot take legend here, but I'm taking the 1 seed. Conference Finals, Thunder versus Lakers. This would have been a really good game the other day if that official wasn't in their feelings. I swear, this is just a message that I think we all will agree with. I think we should be able to live in the middle of a game review if a technical foul should be given or rescinded in the game. Now, I understand the referee and the blow to their ego would be absolutely brutal if they had to overturn one of their own technical fouls. However, when you have situations like Luka talking to a fan, getting a technical, ridiculous. And there's another R word I wanted to use to describe it, but I won't. Thunder versus Lakers would be an absolute imbroglio. It's a brawl. Yeah, I'm trying to use a new word of the day. Big word of the day in the video. So this would be an absolute imbroglio, a brawl, a big fight. Because you're going to have so many good players in this. Shea, Chet, Dub versus LeBron, Luka, Austin Reeves, again, the West is so stacked that this could be Rockets to the conference finals, Warriors to the conference finals, Timberwolves to the conference finals, and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. Who would I pick between the Thunder and the Lakers? Oh, God, don't make me pick the Lakers, bro. No, I'm going to pick the Thunder. I don't want to have to pick between the Thunder and the Lakers because I dislike the thought of either one of them being in the finals, but I'm going to have to take the Thunder. They have more lineup versatility, as I like to say. Basically, what I'm saying is that they could play 2 bigs with Chet and Hartenstein. They could go 1 big with just Hart. They could go 1 big with just Chet. They could go small ball and roll out like J-Dub at the damn 5. And just to make my point, I just wanted to make sure that I was correct in my assessment. Yeah, Jalen Williams, that's J-Dub, not J-Will. J-Dub has played the center in 125 possessions. Alex Caruso has played the center position in 74 possessions. And yeah, so there's multiple lineups. Kenrich Williams has played the 5 before. There's a lot of lineup versatility is what I'm trying to get at. And with the Thunder, they can go big, they can go small. They're just so dangerous no matter what they do. And the real place where the Lakers are going to be able to take advantage of them is the Shea off minutes. Hot take, team is better when best player is on floor. Take that one to the bank, kids. Yeah, it's just when Shea's off, their offense isn't quite the same. And I think that's where the LeBron, Luka lineups, like if you stagger the minutes and Shea is out and Luka's still in the game, and let's say the Lakers are down 8, I'd assume the Lakers might tie that game by the time Shea checks back in, unless it's like a 30-second blow, pause. But either way, yeah, I think the Thunder are going to take it simply because Shea is so consistently good, and they have more lineups that they could throw out there than the Lakers can. I know the Lakers can go Vando at the 5, Hayes at the 5, LeBron at the 5, but I just feel more confident in like Isaiah Hartenstein than I feel with Jackson Hayes. I feel more confident in Chet Holmgren than I feel with Jackson Hayes. I feel more confident with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander than I do with Austin Reeves. You know what I mean? Do I feel more confident in Luka or Shai in a playoff series? I don't know, because Luka beat them last year, but it's not the same team. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think Chet was there last year, was he? And it's just not the same. The Lakers aren't the same as Dallas last year. You know what I mean? I'm taking the Thunder 1 seed all the way. So both 1 seeds will not be going all the way because I'm taking the Boston Celtics. I know. It's 2-2, 2-2 with the Cavs versus Celtics this season in the regular season. It was 2-2. Each of them both took an away game. So the Celtics won one in Cleveland and the Cavs won one in Boston. They've taken one each way away. So there's really no deciding factor here. Well, actually there is. It's Kristaps Porzingis. He's the deciding factor for me because he hasn't played in their last 2 matchups. The last one that they played in, I believe, the Celtics might have won that one without like 2 starters, you know. So, and if, again, we are assuming health, if Jaylen Brown is healthy, I don't think the Cavs have the facilities to score with them. No offense to Dono and Darius because those two are buckets. But the Celtics have the ability to guard Evan Mobley. You're going to get Al Horford on him. You're going to get Luke Kornet on him, and you're going to get some Kristaps Porzingis on him. But real talk, who on Cleveland is going to be the one stopping the Tatum and Brown constantly? You know, because you talk about Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, there's Drew Holiday, there's Derek White. And I know Derek White ain't this elite man-on-man stopper, but he's going to get some stops here and there. And I know Drew Holiday is going to get some stops here and there as well. But I don't trust Max Strus against Jason Tatum. I don't trust DeAndre Hunter against Jason Tatum. I don't really trust Isaac Okoro against him really either. And if you play Isaac Okoro, he might guard Tatum well, but he's going to put up 0 points and sit in the corner and do nothing on the other side of the ball. It's damn near a net win of a possession if the Celtics were to allow Isaac Okoro to take a 3. That's the desired outcome. So I just think that the Celtics have the edge because of star power and just a better, more stacked, and more heavy at the top team. You know, because like the Cavs have the better bench, I'd agree. Ty Jerome, DeAndre Hunter off the bench beats Peyton Pritchard and Sam Hauser 7 days of the week. But Luke Kornet's very good as well. I'm not going to trash Luke Kornet. But the Celtics have a better starting 5, in my opinion. And yeah, it just comes down to that. If the Cavs want to play that big ball and they run out that Mobley-Allen combo, Tatum's guarding Mobley, or the Celtics run out that double big. Here's Luke Kornet. He can guard Evan Mobley, and then they can play with Kristaps, and now you got the the Celtics have lineup versatility as well, and I think that's one thing I really like in the playoffs and favor in the playoffs at times is a team with lineup versatility. How many different lineups can they go to? Can they go big? Can they go small? Can they do anything in the middle? You know what I mean? And I think the Celtics have the ability to do both at an efficient level. Not saying the Cavs don't, obviously. That's not me trying to say the Cavs don't have lineup versatility. They do. They could go Allen at the 5, no Mobley. Mobley at the 5, no Allen, blah, blah, blah. You know, they could go Dean Wade at the 4, blah, blah, blah. But I just trust the Celtics top-line starters more than the Cavs as well. 1 seed, 2 seed, NBA Finals. It's what we all dreamed of, folks. I'm taking the Thunder because let me be frank when I say this. I know I have the Thunder winning the finals, but this is a no excuses season for the Thunder. They have the best team in the NBA, best constructed team in the NBA. That's just, in my opinion, that's true. You won 68 games, almost 70 wins. There's no excuses anymore. Shai's gonna win the MVP. I don't think anyone's thinking Jokic is gonna win MVP at this point. I think Shai has locked it up, right? I think the Thunder have won almost 70 games, 68 to be exact. They whooped everyone's you-know-what. Shai hasn't played the fourth quarter in like 15 games this year. He doesn't play the fourth quarter a lot of the time because they're belt-to-assing teams. There's really no excuses for the Thunder not to win a finals this year, barring injury. Obviously, knock on the wood desk I record on, if Shai goes into game 1 against Memphis and boom, he goes down, obviously things change. But again, we are doing this entire bracket, and I said it at the beginning, barring health. And barring health, there's no reason the OKC Thunder should not win the damn finals this year. They've beaten Boston twice in the regular season. That's just what it is. They beat Cleveland as well. So it's like, I think they have the edge on any Eastern Conference team. Can they get out of the West? I think so, because the bracket is it's formulating well for them, I'll say. If the Lakers ended up going up to 4 or something like that, there might be a second round upset there. No offense to my Thunder fans, but the Lakers might upset them in the second round. But in the conference finals, I think the Thunder will have some momentum going after beating a couple of, not cupcakes, definitely tough rounds, but teams that aren't as good. But yeah, closing thoughts, Thunder all the way. No excuses. I said the same thing about Boston last year. If you go rewind some of my videos, said the same thing about the Celtics last year. There was no excuses for them not to win the finals. This season, it's the Thunder's turn for that because they have the best constructed roster. Isaiah Hartenstein, that ad was beautiful. Adding Alex Caruso ends up fine. So they have the best constructed roster. They have the best player in the world this season because he won the MVP. That's just how that works to me. You're the best player if you win the MVP award. And they won 70 games. No excuses. If you enjoyed this video, comment down below. Tell me where I went wrong, what upsets you would have. Have some discussion down below. And subscribe. Just hit 52 subs the other day. We are growing faster than I anticipated. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining me as well. I'm going to go catch a game. See you guys in the next one.